real valuation of a piece of property is, forget appraising just for a second, but we've talked about this in the past. Isn't it really just as simply what a buyer and a seller are willing to agree to on the day they want to agree on the contract?
That's exactly right. The valuation's done before we get out there to do our appraisal. So, willing buyer, willing seller, that really is the guiding truth.
So then everyone, when they hear that, they go, well, then what's the problem? Well, the problem is, just so everybody knows, if it's an all cash transaction, what Scott and I just shared is the value is just what buyers and sellers agree to on a given day. That is the value in its absolute sense. But when you add financing in, the average loan that we do at Supreme Lending, which, by the way, Scott mentioned 2,200 appraisals a month. Supreme does around 750 transactions a month. So, we do an awful lot of mortgages. The reality of it is that if we weren't involved, appraisals, you can get them if you'd like. The buyer and seller have already agreed to a price. It's all cash. That's their business. When we get involved, buyers on average, when they buy a home through our organization, they put down 25%. And so we're actually representing Fannie Mae in an FHA's circumstances, which is about 20% of the market. They're putting down 3.5%. So what happens is those that are actually lending more money than the buyer is putting into the transaction, they care about the valuation of the property. So they don't really care when cash is happening. They only care when they're involved and their money's on the line, because they put their money out and they want to make sure that the valuation can be justified between buyers and sellers. So just to understand, Scott and I both agree that the value is what buyers and sellers will agree to do on a certain day when it's all cash. When it moves to financing, then we have to do this process called appraising. And there's a very specific process that is involved to figure out what valuation really is.